The Justice League versus Godzilla versus King Kong. No, this is not a joke. It is a new comic book line that they've decided to bring out over at DC Comics. If you didn't know, WB owns the rights to use King Kong and has a deal with Toei to use Godzilla. And on top of that, they also own DC Comics. So this feels like something that was just inevitable to begin with. All of this is coming in line with the new Godzilla movie, the new Godzilla TV show, and the celebration of the 69th anniversary of Godzilla. But no more Godzilla facts, where are you? This is Comicstorian. I take comic books, I turn them into audio dramas so that you know what's going on in the world of comic books, and you know exactly what you should be adding to your collection. This is issue 1 of a series taking place in an alternate universe, so don't think that this is main timeline or anything weird like that. And if you do enjoy this type of content, consider checking out Comicstorian on Spotify or checking out our Full Story channel, both of which are going on right now. But now let's not waste any more of your time. Let's get into Justice League versus Godzilla versus King Kong. Clark and Lois sit across from each other on the rooftop of the Daily Planet. The sun is setting in the distance as they talk about their relationship, about how this was the first place that they met. I don't think I was ready for you, Clark or Superman, Lois says with a smile. Clark smiles back and gets down on one knee. How about now? He says quietly. They both pause, though, as the buildings begin to shake. But it's not just the Daily Planet. The entire city is shaking. Clark looks to the bay as something massive breaks through the water, and Godzilla rears its massive head up, surveying Metropolis with murderous intent. 12 hours earlier, Flash and Green Lantern watched the Justice League Watchtower monitors, marveling at Superman as he flies around the world trying to save everyone. It's like he literally is trying to save the world all at once, Hal notes. Flash nods, pointing out that this level of effort isn't sustainable, even for Superman. They question why the Man of Steel is even doing this. Well, he's going to ask Lois to marry him, Supergirl answers as she walks into the room. And then he's going on his first vacation ever? She continues with a smile. Hal and Barry are shocked, but also a little hurt that Superman had to ask his cousin to fill them in. Because what is the Justice League without a mega-powerful Kryptonian up its sleeve? Hal points out, admitting that he's jealous. Supergirl looks back from the screens, pointing out that Superman is about to fight Titano. Doesn't he shoot kryptonite lasers from his eyes? Flash points out, and Hal nods, pointing as the giant ape fires a green blast at Superman. We should go give him a hand. Flash nods, disappearing in a flash of super speed. Hal then turns to Supergirl. Without powers, I could totally beat him, he says, and in moments, the Flash arrives at the battle, just as Superman is wrapping things up. Oh, hi, Flash. Is everything okay? He asks as he lifts the giant ape and flies him towards Stryker Island. They land at the prison where they're joined by Wonder Woman and Hal Jordan, and everyone congratulates Superman on his news, pointing out that he and Lois belong together. Meanwhile, at the hidden base of the Legion of Doom, the group of villains watch as Superman once again defeats their schemes. I'm sick of it! I say we take the fight to them, Black Adam growls, and the rest of the team nods, pointing out that they don't have a plan, and they begin to bicker amongst themselves. Maybe the Justice League always wins because they get along, Toyman points out, but Lex Luthor interrupts the arguments, explaining that he does in fact have a plan. He turns towards his helicopter, motioning them along. I'll fill you in on the way. Let's go, and dress warmly. In short order, the helicopter arrives at the Fortress of Solitude in the Arctic Circle, the group of villains surveying the fortress from the air. It's impossible to find. It took 3 years of satellite tracking data and the greatest criminal minds in history to locate Superman's home. Lex tells his team, and he brings the team to the massive door with no knob. Using their combined strength, they do manage to open it though. Inside, the criminals marvel at the many wonders that Superman keeps within the fortress, but Lex orders them not to touch anything. We're here for 2 things, the Mother Box and Orion's sled. Touch nothing else. There will be plenty of time to investigate the spoils of war later. As they move through the treasures, the Toyman can't help himself reaching out for a strange red crystal. He grasps it in his hands. So beautiful, he whispers, and the others turn to him in shock. I'm sorry, Toyman asks in surprise as the Legion is staring at him. Meanwhile, back at Clark Kent's apartment, the Man of Steel is showing Bruce his engagement ring as the two are discussing the possible issues of Superman marrying someone. But they're interrupted as Clark turns to the sound of an alarm at the fortress. He whirls to change into Superman, but Kara's voice comes over the team comms. "Tell Kal to stay put. Here in the night off," she informs Bruce. "I got this," she says with a smile as she and the rest of the League stroll into the fortress. The Legion are now all yelling at Toyman, but are interrupted as the Justice League rush into the room and join them in battle. Flash zipping by, grabbing Orion's sled from Lex's hands, but he's then stopped by Captain Cold's freeze ray. Lex grabs a hold of the sled and the mother box and prepares to activate them. Meanwhile, Toyman whirls, throwing an explosive doll at Hawkgirl, but the bomb bounces off of her mace, hitting the sled. The explosion activates the sled, sending a pulse through the room. Hal yells for his team to gather up and throws a green shield to protect them. But when the smoke clears, the League is shocked to find that the Legion of Doom has disappeared. "The mother box took them," Supergirl notes, and Hal comments as he waves the smoke away. "Yeah, but where did they go?" Meanwhile, the Legion has found themselves in a strange jungle. Where are we?" Cold asks. Giganta embiggens herself, staring off in the distance. "There's a large structure about a quarter mile from here," she says, so Lex nods, leading them off into the woods. "Fair warning, I'm getting a lot of heat signatures. This forest is teeming with life," Black Manta warns. The group moves through the woods, with the trees suddenly parting as a massive skull-faced lizard pushes through, roaring at them. The villains freeze in shock, but are rescued as a massive ape leaps out, attacking the lizard. Roaring in anger, the rest of the Legion turn to run as Grodd stares in awe. "An ape? God?" Inside the base, the Legion discovers the monitoring equipment that surveys several massive kaiju. They look at one of the monitors and watch as Grodd approaches King Kong. "Mighty ape, we are kindred spirits, are we not?" Grodd asks as he bows before Kong. The rest of the team shocked, but it is Toyman who sees the possibilities of the Titans. And then, Toyman becomes angry. "Shut up! I know exactly what I'm saying, you basic-minded fools. Don't you see the big picture? These Titans are perfect for us. They're the ultimate toys! You wanted a way to stop the Justice League once and for all? This is it!" He snaps, and everyone looks at him for a moment. "Allowing you into the Legion was my biggest mistake," Lex finally says, turning away, ordering the team to try and find them a way home. Left alone, Toyman begins to hold the red crystal that he took from the Fortress of Solitude. "I hate them so much. I wish I could show them. Take all these toys back to play with the Justice League. Oh, how I wish." As he whispers those words, the crystal begins to glow and the red light begins to fill the monitoring station. We now cut to the present day. Godzilla rises out of Metropolis Bay, Superman leaping from the rooftop to the Daily Planet, flying through the air to meet the massive Titan. And that concludes issue 1 of Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. King Kong. What an amazing concept, and I am on board. You guys don't know this about me, but I am a crazy Godzilla fan. But sadly, the story is to be continued.